good feeling. This place is jumping on hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spread.
That's pretty good.
Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something. 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 Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome to Coffee and Crypto Live. Guys, we have a lot to talk about in today's live stream. Right now, we are seeing all kinds of fake news and FUD being spread all throughout the mainstream media. Namely, New York Times just came out saying that Bitcoin is about to move to proof of stake. We also have some massive adoption stories and some technical analysis we need to jump into in today's live stream. Thank you so much for joining us. I am joined by special guest, Non-Crypto Taylor. How you doing, Taylor?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am non-crypto Taylor, very much non-crypto Taylor, actually. I'm a noob when it comes to crypto. So I am Tim's wife, though. So hello, Tim, if you're watching this. And I'm joined by my space buns today.
There you go.
Congratulations, guys.
In fact, this show is sponsored by Taylor, isn't that right?
Oh, yes. Here is your Taylor dollar.
Taylor gave me a Taylor dollar. It literally says, holla holla, a Taylor dollar. It says segmentation on the back because this is a note from our branding meeting. We're also joined, as always, by our producer, Smee the Tree. How you doing, Smee?
Hi, everybody. I love you.
Boom
I'm going to do a
sauce.
soundbite for you. Stonks. Yay.
Smee loves his sound bites. Give a 1 in chat if you like the sound bites and a 2 in chat if you don't. I'm a little undecided, to be honest with you, so I would love to hear your opinions. Guys, in this stream, we're going to kick it off with a news article, and we're going to jump into some technical analysis here in a second. This is a pretty big deal, so Smee, if you'll jump on over to my chart, let me go ahead and introduce this, and we'll wrap up the intro. Switzerland's largest insurer, AXA, starts accepting Bitcoin as payment. Okay, that's a very big deal, guys. We've seen all kinds of mass adoption happening over the last several months. It started a couple of years ago, back in August of 2018, with the New York Stock Exchange's owner, Intercontinental Exchange, worth $35 trillion in assets under management, launching Bakkt. We saw Starbucks moving into the space. Now we're seeing stuff happen every other week. We see Tesla accepting Bitcoin, PayPal working in it, Visa working with USDC through the Ethereum blockchain, all kinds of development going on. Ethiopia adopting smart contract platform Cardano. Lots of things are going on. This is just another one of the reasons that we can tell that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are reaching mass adoption. Let's briefly look at this. A private AXA customer, all private AXA customers now have the option to pay insurance premiums for any non-life insurance products in Bitcoin. Europe's second largest insurance firm. So this is not a small fish. This is Europe's second largest insurance firm. AXA has become Switzerland's first all-line insurer to offer its customers the option to pay their bills with Bitcoin. Boom. Let's go back to full screen. Let's discuss that for just a second. By the way, guys, if you're looking forward to this stream, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content. We have a great video with an Ethereum price prediction coming out later today, so make sure you hit the post notification bell so you'll be updated when that comes out. Not only is a lot of cryptocurrency adoption going on right now, we also have quite a bit of cryptocurrency FUD being spread. And I'm going to jump to this article really quickly, and we're going to loop back around to it by the end of the stream. So, Smay, if you'll jump us on over to my screen, I'll show you guys that there was an article recently. And like I said, we're going to come back to this in a second. So I'm gonna show you what we're going to talk about, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to get there. But New York Times, Bitcoin is expected to eventually move to proof of stake consensus. Okay, let's back up. Let's go to full screen. Bitcoin is expected to move to proof of stake consensus. If we didn't already know that the mainstream media had a huge bias against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we now do. Right? Okay. Smay, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think, buddy, about that?
I think they're just being a bunch of poopers. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. It's crazy. Yeah.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Jebb.
Before we jump into it, do you have any secrets about Tim that we should know?
Oh,
If you guys didn't know, Taylor is Tim's wife, and Tim is not in today, so Taylor is filling in.
Yes. Well, I guess he does suffer from chronic snoring.
Oof!
Roasted!
He uses sometimes a CPAP machine, sometimes the nose strip, sometimes, all the time, the nasal spray. So that's a fun one.
There you go.
Sorry, Timmy.
There you go. Sorry, Tim. Your wife is putting you on blast. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and read chat for here just a second, and then we're going to jump on to some technical analysis on Bitcoin and move through all of the news. So Dawson said, got him, put Tim to sleep. If he's able to breathe. Oof. I'm sorry. We love Tim. Tim is off at a planning meeting right now to help us continue to grow as a channel and help to provide you guys products. Any questions? I'm going to open the chat here for just a second. It's amazing. Going to help me look for some great questions. Someone's saying, go Team Beard, says James Ramos. Let's say, hey, Jebb, I just want to say your boys did very well yesterday. You should give them a pay raise. We're actually talking about getting Smay a PewDiePie chair.
Yeah!
Isn't that right, Smay?
Yeah, guys.
You
Put a one
forward?
in chat if I should get a PewDiePie chair, guys.
That's pretty funny. Tim be sleeping on Bitcoin, I guess, huh? I'm going to have to be... Stop, Smay, that's weird.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Jebb, what color is your Lambo? It is clear because I don't have one. I don't want a Lambo. I do have a Camry, though. I just bought a Camry like a week ago. I took you for a ride in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was fun, huh?
I'm glad there were no police around.
We stayed under the speed limit.
Yes, we did.
We stayed.
We
Okay,
did.
that's in breach of our core value of integrity. Anyway, it was fun. Got a sunroof. Let's move on to Bitcoin and do some technical analysis unless we see any great questions. May, do you see anything in chat we should address?
Yeah. Hey, Jebb, why Cardano won't reach Ether's price eventually?
I will tell you why Cardano will never reach Ethereum's price, because there's a much higher supply of Cardano than there is of Ethereum. That's a great question. Let's go ahead and jump onto my screen real quick, and I'll be brief in explaining this. Guys, the market capitalization of a cryptocurrency is what you want to look at. That is the cumulative total of the value of that project. So in English, let me explain what that means. Let's say I have 100 footstools, and each footstool is worth $10. You multiply those two together, I have $1,000 worth of footstools, right? Because if you have 100 footstools and they're all worth $10, your whole pile of footstools is worth $1,000, right? Cool. So let's say Ethereum is worth $2,444 like it is right now. That's that $10 analogy with the footstools. And its circulating supply is 115 million. That means there's 115 million footstools. Then the total value of your pile of Ethereum is $282 billion. So you don't want to look at the value of the, you don't want to look at the price, excuse me. Price and value are two different things. Market capitalization is a measure of value. Price is the dollar amount that is being traded at. You don't want to look at the dollar amount. You want to look at the value. That's the market capitalization. Cardano will never go to a $2,500 price tag because it has a much higher supply. Instead of having 115 million stools, it has 45 billion stools, which naturally means each one of the stools is going to be worth less, because if each Cardano, I'm sorry, I said 45 billion, excuse me, 32 billion ADA. If every single ADA was worth $2,500, then we would have like $100 trillion market capitalization. You want to look at market cap, not value. Cardano very well may get to where Ethereum's market cap is. Its price is not going to happen, though. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to some Bitcoin technical analysis. Guys, you know that we have a lot to talk about here. I promise you we are going to make this nice and simple, but we do have a lot to cover. These are where we, this is where we are starting, but this, my friends, is where we are going. So let me go ahead and clear my chart, and I will show you where we shall start. Guys, Bitcoin has obviously been in a rally over the last several days, and there's something very important that you need to take into account here, and that is that we talked about Bitcoin rallying to $63,000 due in part to an inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've been looking at over the last couple of weeks. We had an inverse head and shoulders pattern right here, and then if we use our price target and then we extrapolate, we can see that Bitcoin should have rallied to, you guessed it, $63,000. Where is Bitcoin trading at right now? Boom, it's trading at $63,000. Do you see how I did that? We did our price target right here. That's our price target. If we move it up here to the breakout of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, that inverse head and shoulders pattern is right here, and we use our price target, it predicts around a $63,000 Bitcoin. I've talked to you guys about how we expect Bitcoin to rally to between $63,000 and $70,000 over the next 2 months. I said that about 2 and 3 weeks ago. We now see that the new all-time high for Bitcoin is sitting at $65,000. That is the exact level that we're in. And in fact, Taylor, can you tell me what my price prediction is over there? $63,000. How about that? We're $50 away. I'm sorry, Smay. I just don't think you're going to win. It's going to come down to me and Tim, I think. I think it's going to come down to me and Tim.
It's still going down. Relax.
It's still going down.
It's still going down.
Well, I'm about to show you guys why I don't think that's going to happen. So let's make sure we're on my chart, and I will show you some reasons why I think Bitcoin is about to continue to the upside. Notice this uptrending level of support right here. This is constituted by recent highs and recent lows. We can see some highs right here, some highs right here. Notice where we're bouncing. We're bouncing on this trend line. This is why technical analysis is incredibly important. For anyone who has not gone through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you should. It's actually Taylor's about to start learning about technical analysis through CT2A. Isn't that right, Taylor?
Yes, we can do it together.
Let's go. Join Taylor in the Cryptocurrency Taylor Analysis Academy with a link in the description box down below. That was a terrible pun, but I tried.
I have, real quick.
What's up?
I love you too, Krista. You're my #1 fan. I love you.
That's awesome. Oh, Smay's got a fan club starting. Guys, drop a 1 in chat if you're in the Smee the Tree fan club. And Smay, I think you have something that you want to tell chat, right?
Yeah, guys. Hold on, let me go to full screen for this. I have a trade proposal for you. You like the stream? We keep doing good content.
How about that? That's a good trade. That's a good trade right there. Go ahead and smash that like button, guys, and then we will continue to make content, because obviously we're all just going to quit our jobs and go live in the Himalayas if you don't hit the like button. Not going to happen, but hit it anyway, just to show your love. Anyway, right now, we see that Bitcoin is sitting above an important uptrending level of support with resistance right here and support right here. We're also sitting below $63,000, which is a very important level of resistance, not just because it is our price target from the inverse head and shoulders pattern, but also because it represents a big even. It represents a level that Bitcoin will trade at because it is an even number. It just makes sense that we're going to trade here because it's a whole number. People like to put trades around nice, whole, simple numbers. That's why we actually rallied to $65,000. That's right between $60,000 and $70,000 in the middle point. That's just how human psychology works. Anyway, Bitcoin sitting right here is very important, and I'll tell you why. We can see that so long as Bitcoin holds above this, we're likely to have a bullish cross on 4-hourly MACD. We can see it's bearish right now, but it is attempting to reverse today. If we are able to reverse and go into an uptrend on the 4-hourly MACD, makes sense that we would rally to and above $65,000 once more. And the other reason why we want to see that, the other reason why I think that's going to happen is you can see we had this gigantic green candlestick 2 days ago. This represented a 6% increase in Bitcoin's price. And then what happened? Immediately after, we saw a spinning top. Again, for anyone that's gone through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, I sound like a broken record. By the way, we're sitting at exactly $63,000. We'll see where it is tomorrow. I think I might end up being the winner of this one. I just got to pat myself on the back a little bit. Anyway, we have a spinning top formation right here. That indicates indecision on the Bitcoin market, but we also see that Bitcoin is very bullish, which means that that spinning top is more likely to spin to the upside than to the downside, indicating that we should be about to see increased rallies on Bitcoin, and this is where I'll leave you. We also see that there's an uptrending level of resistance on Bitcoin right here. We have touched it once, twice. Many times what you will see happen in rising trading channels like this one is you will see the market rally all the way up to the uptrending level of resistance and reject. Guess where that is? That's sitting at $67,000, and I'm inclined to believe that over the next week and a half or so, we're going to see Bitcoin rally to $67,000, not just because of the technicals, but also because of the fundamentals that we're about to jump into right now. Give me a 1 in chat if you agree with that $67,000 price target on Bitcoin over the next couple of weeks. Let's go to full screen. And I'm going to read chat just a little bit, and then we're going to start jumping into some news. And then if you would like, we can do some technical analysis on another chart. By the way, thank you very much, Smay, for timing out the low-life prick who is trying to impersonate us. Guys, in case you don't know, there are people that pretend to be me and other YouTubers. I've seen a fake Crown. I've seen a fake BitBoy. I've seen so many fake accounts. You're not tricking anyone, my friend. Just stop your a dirtbag. Don't fall for people that are trying to trick you guys. I don't currently have a WhatsApp. We're talking about making one. I don't send people to WhatsApp. We have one Instagram account. You can find the link for that in the description box down below. Please don't fall for the scammers. They are trying to get you. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Someone said, why is nobody talking about the monthly RSI for Bitcoin? It's currently at 92 and peaked around 94 to 96 in previous cycles. That's a good question. So let's go ahead and jump back onto my chart and we will look at just that. This is an interesting point. I will give that to you. Here's the deal though. This previous cycle we need to look at, and we need to understand where Bitcoin went during the previous bull market. That is absolutely true. But at the same time, we don't want to get so caught up in what happened in the previous cycle that we forget what's happening in this cycle. As much as we want to compare the old to the new, because that's the basis of technical analysis, is looking at how patterns might repeat themselves, we also don't want to get trapped in a mentality of, okay, we have to do exactly what we did last time. And here's the thing. Whenever we rallied up to right around where we are now, 90, we rallied and stayed in a bull market for another 120 days. Might be hard to tell on the chart, but we actually stayed up here for almost a third of a year. We stayed up here for a quarter. That indicates that at the very least, if we follow exactly what we did last time, which I don't think is going to happen, that we could stay up here and rallying even farther for another 3 or 4 months. I think it's going to go on longer than that, and I'll tell you exactly why. Let's go back to full screen. I think that Bitcoin has moved into a different paradigm this time than we saw in previous bull markets. I think that Bitcoin is in a completely different ecosystem right now than it was at the end of 2017. I was here at the end of 2017. I watched it go from $3,000 to $20,000 live. I was in high school. I was in 12th grade. I watched it every single day. I was walking around between classes looking at my Litecoin portfolio. I'm like, oh my gosh, I made 2 cents because I had no money. You know, tell me if you've been there. I have been there. Believe me. I thought my 2 Litecoin was a big portfolio back then. Point is, the market shifts and the market moves, and that actually leads us pretty well into some of the adoption stories that we want to cover here. Any further questions before we move on? Let's see. You see anything in chat, Smay?
Yeah, somebody says, are these bull and bear cycles still reliable?
Yes, so that's a good question. Are bull and bear cycles still reliable, and should we still use them in our technical analysis? Here's the deal, guys. If you study a book called The Bitcoin Standard, which is by Safedin Amos, I've preached about this book a billion times. I'm actually going to have Taylor read it because Taylor is a bookworm, and we're very appreciative for that because we are all pretty undisciplined about reading books. I'm getting better. I am getting better.
You are.
I am
beating me right now.
I'm beating you. Yeah, I forgot about that. Taylor, I've entered a reading competition with non-crypto Taylor over here to see who can read more books. Anyway, the point is, in that book, you will learn that Bitcoin will eventually become a stable currency, if you will. Eventually, and I'm not going to explain why this is, you're just going to have to take my word on it, go and do the research. Eventually, Bitcoin will be almost perfectly stable, and the only thing that will change its price will be the time preference of the people that live in the crypto, that operate in this world. So if the people want to save a lot of money, then Bitcoin will naturally go up because they'll be saving money in Bitcoin or a Bitcoin denomination, like using Bitcoin as a reserve currency and having Bitcoin's reserve currency status, and that'll increase the price of Bitcoin. Or it'll go down because people are not interested in saving money. Bitcoin is eventually going to become very stable. That's probably still at least 10 to 15 years out, but we're seeing the writing on the wall starting now, because when Bitcoin becomes mass adopted, which I am almost certain it's going to, I become more certain about that every single day I work in this space. As Bitcoin becomes more adopted, its volatility will go down. In fact, over the last 3 years, I don't have the statistic off the top of my head. Maybe Doss, if you're watching the stream, you can text me a statistic about this so I can use it. The volatility of Bitcoin has been consistently going down over the last 10 years. People don't realize that. They think, okay, Bitcoin is just getting more and more and more volatile, but that's not true. I actually can show you an example of that on the chart. So, if you'll jump over to the chart, I will give everyone a good example of that. The volatility on Bitcoin going down is something that you need to understand. It is very important to the longevity and the future of Bitcoin, and it's something that we need to take into account when we are doing our technical analysis. I'll give you an example of that. If you look at this previous bull market in 2011 to 2013, we saw a 67,000% rally in 2 years. That's ridiculous. Following that, we saw a 10,000% rally in 2016 and 17. Lately, we've seen a big rally, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, we went from $3,000 to $60,000. That's incredible. This bull market so far is only 1,600%. So, let's go back to full screen. What I'm talking about here, guys, is that we see a consistent decrease in the volatility of Bitcoin. We see a consistent flattening out of Bitcoin. Even though 1,000% is huge, you extrapolate that 10 years from now, and we might be looking at the kind of stability that we see in, I don't know, the real estate market, which is a highly unstable market. But the point I'm making is that Bitcoin is going to start losing its stability. The reason that's important is because it is going to lead to the breakdown of some patterns that we've been using for a long time, like stock to flow predictions of where Bitcoin's going. By the way, this is completely off topic, and we're about to get back to the point of this stream, but this is important. Some people think that stock to flow ratio and stock to flow predictions are wrong. You're half true. Whenever you see someone doing a prediction, I'm speaking to the people that are in the know here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, this will be brief. For the people in the know, there are people that make predictions based on stock to flow about where Bitcoin's going. A lot of them are incorrect. A lot of them are not really going to be very good indicators of when Bitcoin hits 1 million. Stock to flow ratio, on the other hand, is quite literally the most important number that Bitcoin has. Period. If you study anything on Bitcoin, please study its stock to flow ratio. Please understand stock to flow. Please understand how stock to flow has impacted different currencies throughout the history of the world. Stock to flow ratio is incredibly important on Bitcoin. Its predictions, however, are not necessarily as simple as people make them out to be. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump on to some news because I want to talk about how something that Mike Novogratz says. And so let's go ahead and jump onto my chart. Bitcoin in stasis as crypto bull Mike Novogratz warns of crypto market washout. Bitcoin takes a breather as billionaire investor Mike Novogratz warns of a market correction. I'm not inclined to agree with him, but I am interested to hear what he has to say. Bitcoin still sits near $62,500 and well within Wednesday's price range, and concerns of a broader market pullback in the wake of Coinbase listing on NASDAQ. By the way, I'm glad that came up because I do want to mention a little bit later about the NASDAQ listing. By the way, I actually have an article here from Dasa that is on my phone to make the point that I was talking about earlier. Thank you very much, Dasa. Yes. Let's see. Dasa, can you post this article on Twitter? And I will direct everyone over there. The volatility on Bitcoin has been consistently going down for the last several years. You can see it on the chart that he is going to link over there. That'll go up on our Twitter. Anyway, I've seen a lot of weird coins like Dogecoin, even XRP, have huge retail spikes, which is pretty funny. He's calling XRP weird. It is.
Yeah, roasted.
Which means there's a lot of frenzy right now. Bull and CEO of Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, told MarketWatch. That never ends, so we'll probably have a washout at one point. The US-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase's shares went live on NASDAQ on Wednesday, rallying as high as $429 before closing the day at $328. Being the crypto market leader, Bitcoin broke out of its multi-week consolidation pattern. This is what we've been talking about here on the channel for quite some time. Below $60,000 in the days leading up to the highly anticipated listing, widely touted as a watershed moment for the cryptocurrency industry, which, by the way, it most certainly is a watershed moment for the cryptocurrency industry, and clocked a record high of 65,000. In hindsight, Bitcoin printing a new all-time high on the days shares opened for trading was a bit of an obvious one. This is something that, by the way, if you are a consistent watcher of this channel, this is something we have talked about. We talked about how Bitcoin is expected to go into a massive rally due to the Coinbase listing, and after the Coinbase listing happens, we'll probably lose a little bit of that bullishness. That's exactly what we've been saying for the last week, and that's exactly what we see happen. In hindsight, Bitcoin printing a new all-time high on the day of shares opening for trading was a bit of an obvious one. You could even attribute some of the price appreciation this week squarely to this much-anticipated event. He goes on to talk about how people buy the rumor. The rumor is Coinbase is going live, and then they go on to sell the news. Let's go back to full screen, and I'll explain this concept. It's very important for anyone newer to the cryptocurrency world. Something you need to understand about cryptocurrency is that people like to buy the idea of something, and then once it drops, they will sell the idea of something. So, for example, on Coinbase, everybody heard, oh my gosh, Coinbase is going to be going live with an IPO, and then you're going to be able to trade their shares, and it's going to be a watershed moment for crypto. Let's go buy Bitcoin because it's going to be great for Bitcoin. Now that has actually happened. Coinbase has actually dropped, and the IPO has gone live, and guess what? No one cares anymore because the news is dead. It's important. Don't get me wrong. This is the reason I'm talking about this, guys. Let me be clear here because I feel like I'm jumping all over the place. The point I'm making here is that news like Coinbase is a very bullish long-term thing. If we use the analogy of war, let's say Coinbase launching is the equivalent of the United States opening 5 new tank factories. It's not going to have an immediate impact other than it's going to boost morale. Everyone in the U.S. is going to say, oh my gosh, we got new tank factories. Great. We're going to be really happy. We're going to buy war bonds or whatever. So we're going to get excited for a little while. But then the tank factories open and everybody's like, okay, I don't care anymore. But the deal is it's still going to be very bullish for the long-term future of the war effort that the U.S. is in against Nazi Germany or whatever. The point is, Coinbase going live in the same way as opening new arms factories in a war is going to have a long-term consequence. But you're not going to feel all of it right now. And people think, oh my gosh, news just broke. Surely Bitcoin's going to go to the moon tomorrow, but that's not the case. The long-term future of Bitcoin is dictated by a ton of things that don't have immediate impacts, but have big long-term impacts. Think about it like this. Every time one of these news story breaks, such as Coinbase going live, we see the future trajectory of Bitcoin get better and better and better and better and better. And that's why we get excited about these things. Not because of the short term, but because of the long term. So don't get confused whenever you see a dump on the day that news comes out or the day that Coinbase launches. Don't be sad if Bitcoin goes down, because it was never about the short term in the first place. It was always about the long term. Let's talk to chat a little bit.
Yeah, I want to talk to chat real quick.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. What do we see here, Smay?
Like the stream, guys.
Like the stream.
Like the stream. Seriously. I'm looking at you.
Guys, any questions? Now is your chance. I'm looking through chat myself. Smay, what the hell? What in the world? Why are you zoomed in so far? That is so creepy. Hey, smash the like button and I'll fire Smay for doing it. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
That was for you, Krista.
Oh my goodness. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. We have almost 1,000 people in chat and only 257 likes. Let's see if we can't get to 350 likes. You guys are asking about ADA technical analysis. We can definitely do some Cardano technical analysis.
ADA if you got some time.
We will do that here in a little bit. I do still want to move through some of these articles, but we are just going to go ahead and look at some nudes. Told you just like the guy from Family Guy. Oh my gosh. I think he just called you Peter Griffin.
Yikes.
Dang.
Roasted.
That's rude. Let's see. Do you see any good questions in chat, Taylor or Smay?
Yeah. Is it smart to get some profits now for the coming dump?
What coming dump? Let me ask you this, guys. People ask me this all the time, and I like to respond to your question with another question. Do you believe in Bitcoin for the long term? Do you believe that Bitcoin will actually take over the world as the world currency or the world reserve currency, or will Bitcoin become a intrinsic part of our financial institutions? If you believe that, sure, sell and buy the dump. That's not my philosophy, though. My philosophy is what I buy, I hold. I have never once, to this day, I've been in crypto for 4 years, never once have I sold Bitcoin into US dollars and taken profit and walked. Now, of course, I've traded Bitcoin and traded into US dollar tether or US dollar coin or US dollars so that I can trade back into it. Of course, I've done that, but I've never taken money out of the cryptocurrency space. I've never taken money out of Bitcoin. It's made me very successful. I have a massive cryptocurrency portfolio now because I didn't try and buy the dump, because I didn't try and time the market, because I didn't try and make trades with my investing portfolio. That's why when I teach you guys about trading portfolios versus investing portfolios, I say something very important that you need to remember. Never shall the two touch except in one case. Your profits from trading can go into your investment, but never the other way around. Do not move money from your investment portfolio into your trading portfolio, because here's what happens. If you have, here, let me put it this way. Salt water is useful for saltwater fish, right? Fresh water is useful for freshwater fish. At the delta of a river moving into the ocean, what do you get? For all of our fishers out there, Smay, you love fishing.
Yeah, it's brackish.
You get brackish water.
Yeah.
What is brackish water useful for? Jesus actually used an analogy. He said, I would rather you be hot or I'd rather you be cold. I don't want you being in the middle. If you're going to be working in the cryptocurrency markets, trade or invest, don't mix the two, except in the case that you're taking profits from trading and investing with it. Don't try and use your investing portfolio to trade with. Now, that's my philosophy, but that philosophy has been very successful for me, and you're going to hear a lot of other successful investors echoing that. So as far as the question, should I try and buy this dip? If it's your trading portfolio, by all means, go and make a trade. But if it's your investing portfolio, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Smay, did you have something you want to say to that?
Yeah. So for brackish water, it's a very great environment for nurseries. So a lot of fish lay their eggs in brackish water. Shrimp lay their eggs in brackish water. So there is uses for brackish water.
Well, sure, there's uses for it. But the point is you can't drink it. And then it's also not going to be very useful for the ocean because the ocean is salty, right? I get that.
I know. I was just making a joke.
The point is that when you're drinking water, you want to drink fresh water, right? You don't want to be somewhere in the middle. Yeah, there's not much brackish water on the earth.
It's not useful for humans.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You got my point.
Yes, I got your point. I was just being a smarty.
Anyway, someone said, Crypto Jebb, how much money did you start your trading portfolio with? $10. $10. Taylor dollar. Taylor, where's your dollar? Here. Where did I?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the Taylor dollar?
Oh, it's over there.
Oh, there we go. Taylor gave me her $1 Taylor dollar. I started with $10. My first cryptocurrency purchase was in August of 2017. I bought a quarter share of Litecoin when Litecoin was trading at $41.02. I forget the day, but you can go back on the chart and see the day it was trading at that price, and you'll be able to find the day that I bought that at. You don't have to start with much. And that's the great thing about cryptocurrency is that whenever you become a better technical analyst, a better fundamental analyst, whenever you become a better trader, a better investor, and you're constantly hell-bent on being on improving and being growth-oriented. That's our number one core value here at McAfee Media, the company that we all work with. To be growth-oriented. We want to continually improve ourselves. We never want to get complacent because complacency is the root of mediocrity, and no one wants to be mediocre. Everyone wants to be excellent because that is where we are designed to be pushed towards. The way that you become excellent is by investing in yourself and continuing to grow. It's very important. That's actually one of Taylor's strong suits, is that she loves to learn. It's one of the reasons we hired her. I need you guys to understand something. You can start with any amount of money. You can start with $10. Hell, you can start with $1. The better you get at the skill sets and the mindsets that go into trading, the better you'll be able to compound the money that you have. I started with nothing. To be clear, I started with zero. I was broke. Like, I was a broke 17-year-old when I got in the cryptocurrency market. Through my investment in myself and my education, this is why I preach this, I have turned myself into a crypto millionaire because I've invested in bettering myself. I have consistently invested in bettering myself every single day. Anyway, I've made my point. Let's go ahead and move on to the next article here. This is actually really interesting, and I have a point I want to make about this. Nearly 75% of professional investors see Bitcoin as a bubble, says survey. And I am about to pick this apart like it's some turkey on Thanksgiving, guys. This is a stupid article. Smay, you like that? Okay, Smay's a meme lord, just so you guys know. We gotta make a crypto Smay so that he can let all this meme energy out. Bank of America asked 200 professional investors with, get this, $533 billion in assets under management about their opinion on Bitcoin. Come again? So 75% of professional investors see Bitcoin as a bubble. Okay, so what you're saying is that, let's do some math really quickly. 533 for billion divided by 200. That means that, on average, each one of the people they asked had $2.6 billion in assets under management. Okay, so just so you know, we're going into this article knowing full well that this is a biased sample group. Let's move on. Bank of America released a new survey that found that the majority of professional investors are not very optimistic about the world's largest cryptocurrency. Nearly 75% of respondents in the April Bank of America Fund Management Survey, that name just makes me want to vomit, said that they see Bitcoin as a bubble. The survey polled 200 respondents with $533 billion in assets under management, AUM. If you ever heard the expression AUM, that stands for assets under management. Just 16% of the respondents said that Bitcoin is not a bubble, while 10% were uncertain. Here's the deal, guys. Let's go to full screen. Who are the people that Bitcoin was made for? Was Bitcoin made for the elites? Was Bitcoin made for the billionaires? Was Bitcoin made for the status quo? Was Bitcoin made for central government? Was Bitcoin made for central banks or the Federal Reserve? No! Bitcoin was made for you and me. It was made for Taylor and Smay and myself and Dawson and Zach and Tim and all these people that we have on our staff. Bitcoin was made for you. You watching this. Bitcoin was not made for people with $2.6 billion in assets under management, so it makes sense that they're not going to believe in it. Bitcoin was made to give power to the people. Bitcoin was made to build a system that cannot be tyrannized, that cannot be stolen away from us, and our liberties taken by central government in such a way that they can control the currency supply and manipulate us with it. Of course the elites aren't going to like Bitcoin. So when you see articles like this, I want you to remember that. Bitcoin was not designed for the big guy. It was not designed for the rich fella. It was designed for the little guy. And for that reason, I actually just changed my Twitter bio. If you want to switch over here, Smay. I just changed my Twitter bio to something a couple of days ago, and I want to read it to you guys because this is what I stand for, and I want you guys to know what I'm about. There's a reason I bought a Camry, which is the everyman's car, not a Lamborghini, because I'm not trying to flex my wealth. I'm trying to help the little guy. That's why this channel exists, just so you know. If you're a crypto noob, if you have nothing to your name, I'm here for you. I changed it to this. I don't stand for riches, glory, or fame. I stand for the little guy with nothing, no, not a thing to his name. That's what I stand for, and by the way, I stand for that, and so does cryptocurrency, and that's why I get passionate about it. Because if we go to full screen, my beliefs align with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency's beliefs, and that, my friends, is the root of long-term value in cryptocurrency. If you want to be in cryptocurrency long-term and you don't believe what Bitcoin was designed with, its beliefs that are intrinsic to the way it operates, then this is not the market for you. If you stand for the status quo, this is not the market for you. Go invest in stocks. If you are here to challenge the status quo, stand for the little guy, bring liberties back to the people, if that's what you're here for, then you, my friend, are in the right place because your beliefs align with the beliefs of cryptocurrency. And if you believe that, you're at the right channel, so hit that subscribe button. That is why I'm so interested in this article, is because it's obvious that they're going to say that Bitcoin's a bubble when it's not. I want to be very clear on this. It is not a bubble. Bitcoin is not going to pop. Bitcoin might go through a bear market. Bitcoin might lose some of its value. I don't care. Bitcoin is going to change the world. You mark my words. I will quote myself on that for the rest of time. It is going to be the way that we do currency, period. I've explained that in many videos. Let's see what everybody thinks about that in chat.
Somebody said, I just stood up and saluted.
Someone said I just stood up. To what part of that?
I don't know. I think you were on a streak there for a second.
Shout out to all of our war veterans. Thank you, guys. Let's see here. I want to see if there. What was the response in chat when I said the turkey thing? I'm kind of curious.
People were liking it. They were. I do have a question though.
Okay.
So somebody asked, should they? And I timed it out because they kept spamming it, but I thought it was a good question.
Okay.
Should they take their profits in altcoins?
Should you take your profits in altcoins? Here's the deal, guys. You should always. Not always. Let me think about how I answer that. You should keep your money as much as possible in something you believe in. I believe in Bitcoin, so I keep a vast majority of my money in Bitcoin. If you believe in the US dollar, keep your money in the US dollar. If you believe in altcoins, keep your money in altcoins. Guys, really, investment in cryptocurrency comes down to skill sets, yes, like technical analysis, but it also comes down quite a bit to beliefs. I talk about this a lot. There's a reason why we talk about beliefs so much on this channel, is because it will guide you. A lot of you guys saw the car video I did on Sunday. I talked about two things. I talked about direction, I talked about hunger. And in fact, me having that idea was from me talking with Taylor. You remember me talking about direction and hunger?
Oh, yeah.
That video was inspired by the conversation we had.
That video was fire, too. Y'all need to watch it if y'all haven't.
Yeah. So Taylor and I had a conversation that led to that video, just so you guys know. You need to understand beliefs. If you understand beliefs, you will understand cryptocurrency. And the point I'm making here is if you're asking, should I take profits in altcoins? That's not a question I can answer because I'm not you, and I don't know what you believe. But I know you believe something. And I want you to ask yourself, what do you believe? If you believe in the altcoin project and you believe what they believe, not necessarily believe in the future, but you have the same beliefs insofar as, let's say I'm a capitalist. I believe in democracy. I believe in free markets. I believe in small government. I believe in certain things. I'm a Christian. I believe in Christ. If your beliefs are in alignment with the project, then yes, pull your money out in that. Otherwise, keep your money in something you believe in. That's my opinion. That's not the only way to look at it, but I will give you that. Anyway, what else do we see here, Snake?
I see not enough likes on the stream.
I see not enough likes on the stream also, guys. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's see if we can't get to 500 likes. If we get to 500 likes, then Smay will get a new hat. I'll buy you a new hat, Smay. Smay likes his hats.
Yay!
I'll buy you a hat from this century. How about that?
Yay! So also, I think people are ready for some Cardano.
Cardano, okay.
If you're
all right.
ready.
Drop a 1 in chat if you'd like to see some Cardano technical analysis. How about this? I'm going to read the next article because this is actually pretty important.
Yeah.
But if we get 500 likes in the next, call it 5 minutes or so, we will do some Cardano technical analysis.
Sounds a good deal to me.
We'll probably do Cardano technical analysis anyway, but hit that like button.
No. They have to have an incentive, Jebb.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like
Taylor,
button.
can you tell him to hit the like button?
Hey, hit the like button.
There we go.
Yeah.
She asked nicely, guys. Hit the like button. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump on to this because this is what we were talking about earlier, and this is kind of the whole point of the stream. New York Times, Bitcoin is expected to eventually move to proof of stake consensus. I hit the wrong button. Expected to move to proof of stake consensus. Are we on full screen?
Now we are.
Let's go to full screen. Guys, the level of stupidity in that comment, I'm sorry, not stupidity. It's not stupid. It's just ignorance. The level of ignorance in that title makes my head hurt. It makes my brain hurt. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry that there are people out here thinking that Bitcoin can move a proof of stake. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to my screen. This is funny. Get ready to laugh. This is pretty funny. According to an article published on Wednesday, April the 14th, in the New York Times, yes, that New York Times, Ethereum has said it is moving towards proof of stake. This is true. It is. That switch is likely to take up to another year. That's true. It may. And Bitcoin is expected to eventually follow. What? Come again? Bitcoin's going to proof of stake. Since when? Since when has Bitcoin been able to go proof of stake? You know how many hundreds of billions of dollars worth of mining equipment will be obsolete? You realize that any update on the proof of work protocol on Bitcoin has to be approved by a supermajority of the miners. The miners have to come together and agree on something. You would have to get all of the miners to agree to waste their own investment to move to proof of stake.
Exactly. And literally, we're seeing a struggle with that with Ethereum right now. Like we're seeing people with Ethereum, the miners aren't wanting to take less profits with proof of stake. So why would mining Bitcoin do that? That's ridiculous.
Yes,
I think
mate.
it's
Actually,
ridiculous.
you kind of called this a couple weeks ago with Ethereum, right? Can you give us a bit
everyone
of a
made
rundown
fun
on
of
that?
me. Yeah. I'll give a quick brief because I'm not.
Smash the like button, by the way. We're almost hitting 500.
Super well versed, but our researcher Dasa, he's filled me in on a lot of this stuff. So remember, if you guys remember back, I don't know if any of you guys watched that stream. There was a stream where you guys asked, "What is my long-term prediction on Ethereum?" And I said, "Oh, I don't think it's gonna hit the numbers everyone thinks it is because I think some drama is gonna happen with the blockchain, right?" Everyone's like, you pooper, you're so bearish, Guys, if you actually read anything about what's happening with the blockchain as of lately now, there's talks that they're going to try to force stuff through. It's looking a little too centralized.
A little totalitarian.
There's a lot of miners are really upset, doing all kinds of shenanigans. I'm telling you.
Shenanigans.
There's shenanigans going on with Ethereum, and nobody believed me. Look into it, guys. I'm telling you, after this stream, go ahead and look up the London hard fork, the Berlin hard fork. Look up all this stuff. I'm telling you guys, it's not going to be.
We actually have a lot of this content in our back pocket for a stream that we're going to do in the future. If there's ever like a day where nothing's going on, we're going to talk about this. So subscribe for this because this is going to be a great stream. Here's the problem. Ethereum is trying to push through this proof of stake in a way that the miners don't like. That's really the bottom line. The miners have to approve anything that changes on Ethereum because Ethereum is at the moment a proof of work protocol. By the way, smash the like button. We're 2 away from 500. If you do that, you have to remove the centralization on Ethereum, and Ethereum will lose a lot of its value. I'm a big investor in Ethereum. I hold dozens of Ethereum, just so you guys know. I have 6 figures worth of Ethereum holding. I don't want this to happen. It is going to be very difficult to move Ethereum, a vastly different project than Bitcoin, to proof of stake. Moving Bitcoin to proof of stake is, I don't say this out of rudeness to the author because they're uninformed. However, they did not do their due diligence, but I am going to go ahead and say it. This is the most idiotic thing I have heard this year, that Bitcoin can move to proof of stake. This is stupid. Period. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and jump onto the screen, and I want to elaborate on this because this is actually a narrative. This isn't just me reporting news. There's a reason that this is happening, and we want to get to that. According to an article published on Wednesday, the New York Times, Ethereum, I already said this. The article by Hiroko Tabuchi, sorry, my friend, but you don't know what you're talking about, who is a climate reporter for the New York Times, that explains it, is mostly about how cryptocurrency's heavy environmental toll is starting to roil climate policy. Okay, let's pause there. Let's go back to full screen. Here's the deal. For anyone who doesn't understand why Bitcoin uses so much energy, because it's true, Bitcoin does use a lot of energy. Here's why Bitcoin uses a lot of energy. It's supposed to. Bitcoin is supposed to use terawatts and terawatts and gigawatts of electricity. Bitcoin is supposed to do that. Why? You might be asking yourself, why, Jebb, should Bitcoin do that? The reason that Bitcoin uses a lot of electricity is simply because Bitcoin is the first example of anything in all of human history that resembles something called digital scarcity. Up until January 3rd, 2009, when Bitcoin launched, it was impossible to have something that had scarcity. That means it is hard to replicate on the internet. Why? Because, for example, anyone who buys our course, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you know the product cost of us giving you that course once you bought it? $0. Now, it takes a lot of development cost to build it, but us just enrolling you in the course is completely free. All it does is we make another web page and then you join it. Duplicating a course is simple. There was no such thing for a very long time as digital scarcity. Bitcoin was the first example of digital scarcity. And by the way, when people talk about blockchain development and why blockchain is going to change the world, that's why. Because blockchain introduces digital scarcity. Bitcoin is just one example of that. That's why NFTs are going to be a huge thing moving into the future, is because they are an example of a non-fungible digital scarce project. In the same way that, Taylor, your wedding ring, right? That is the only one that means anything to you. If you had an identical wedding ring, it wouldn't mean as much to you because that's the one Tim gave you, right?
Correct.
Exactly. That one is non-fungible. It cannot be replaced. That's what fungibility means. It means it is one of a kind. It cannot be replaced with anything else that has the same value. Value isn't just monetary. It's sentimental, as far as a marriage is concerned, for example. Bitcoin is the first example of digital scarcity. The way that you back up that digital scarcity is by having a network that is incredibly hard to replicate. To do that, the vast energy that Bitcoin needs to use in proof of work is the very thing that secures it. Because since it takes so much energy, it is incredibly expensive to attack Bitcoin. Because to attack Bitcoin, you would need 51% of the network. And by the way, the network takes electricity, so you would need terawatts and terawatts and terawatts and terawatts and terawatts of electricity, not to mention all the mining equipment to attack Bitcoin. It is designed to be very energy intensive because that energy intensity is the thing that stops attackers from attacking Bitcoin. I hope that, Taylor, does that make sense to you? kind of.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because I want to make sure you guys get this. Bitcoin is designed to use a lot of electricity. If Bitcoin didn't use a lot of electricity, it wouldn't be very strong. Think about it like this. Every terawatt of electricity that Bitcoin has is one soldier defending it. If Bitcoin has 100,000 terawatts of electricity being used, that's 100,000 soldiers defending it. The more energy it uses, the more secure it is. It's like a Chinese finger trap. The further you pull out, the harder it is to get out of it. The bigger the network gets, the more secure it is. That's why this is important. So let's go back to the article. Tabuchi says that Bitcoin mining's heavy energy usage owes in large part to its reliance on what is called proof of work. This is true. A computing method that is intentionally designed to be inefficient to keep currencies transparent and decentralized. This is true. The reason I just went on that little spiel is because I wanted to explain what he said, which is true. He says that it's intentionally designed to be inefficient. It is intentionally designed to be intensive. Not exactly inefficient. Bitcoin is the most efficient, digitally scarce network that has ever been conceived by mankind. It is inefficient insofar as it takes a lot of energy, takes a lot less energy than fiat currency. Anyway, this is the problem, though. He says, near the end, Tabuchi talks about proof of stake, mentioning that Ethereum is changing its consensus mechanism to proof of stake, and that Bitcoin will eventually follow Ethereum and adopt POS. And then there's a transition to proof of stake method. This is a direct quote, which doesn't force miners to compete to add blocks to the blockchain, and instead awards miners new blocks based on how much cryptocurrency they already own. The world's second largest currency by market cap, Ethereum, is likely to move there, and Bitcoin is expected to eventually follow. Now, let's go to full screen here. There are two possibilities here. Number one possibility, which I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. The number one possibility is that he was mistaken, and it was an honest mistake, and there wasn't a narrative trying to be pushed here. That is possible. And in the era of sensationalism and attacking everyone because they made a mistake, I want to remind you that that is something that humans do sometimes. Honest mistakes do happen. I've made honest mistakes also, and every time I make a mistake, I wouldn't want someone coming at me and saying, hey, Jebb, you're trying to push an agenda. You obviously hate Bitcoin. That's not the case for me, and I don't want to assume that that's the case for Tabuchi. Here's the deal, though. Tabuchi and I are both people with positions of authority. People listen to me and they take my word on things. People listen to the New York Times and they take the New York Times word on things. We as reporters, if you will, or commentators or influencers, whatever you want to call us, have an obligation to the truth. And that is something that is dead. It doesn't exist anymore. An obligation to the truth is the essence of journalism. Journalism is dead. I want to do my part to reinvigorate it. So I'm not going to intentionally allow myself to fall into those traps, but we do make mistakes. Here's the other possibility, though. The other possibility is that the New York Times, being owned by some big companies, being owned by people with interest against Bitcoin and interest in the current banking system, this could have been intentional to mislead people. I'm not saying that it is. I have no proof that it is. But we do need to watch out for that. Because for every time that somebody makes an honest mistake, there are going to be times where the media is trying intentionally to mislead you. And I don't profess to know which case this is. But it's something we need to look out for. Because the media will try and mislead you. That is their entire MO. Period. And if we allow ourselves to fall into false teachings about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we can undermine the entire movement of cryptocurrency. That's why this is important. It's not because Tabuchi made a mistake. The reason it's important is because we need to do our due diligence to make sure that we are educated on cryptocurrencies, make sure that we are educated on the future of this space, and educated on why we are here in the first place. That's why I talk about beliefs. That's why I talk about why. This is deeper than price, guys. This is a movement that we're a part of here. We are part of a social change that is going on. If you want to be a part of that, smash that subscribe button and hit the like button. By the way, I think we hit our like goal, so we are going to do some Cardano technical analysis. Do we see anything great in chat, Smay?
Yeah, somebody didn't they say something about also getting me a new hat?
Oh, true. We'll have to get Smay a new hat. By the way, someone said you're part of the media. Dude, you're right. I am part of the media, and I am going to do my dang best to make sure that this channel and this company does not fall into the same faults of our current media. You have my word on that. Anyway, let's see.
Let's go ahead and move into some ADA.
Move into some Cardano, guys.
And then after ADA, we can go ahead and close it out.
Good deal, guys. All right. Let's see. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and move on to Cardano, guys. If we'll switch to my screen, then we shall start. Guys, Cardano is a project that we've talked about quite a bit here on the channel and that I'm very bullish on. I love this project, and I'm very much looking forward to its future. We can see right now that Cardano has 6 green days in a row. We've rallied 25%. We also set a new all-time high recently of $1.55. You guys can tell that Cardano is in a symmetrical triangle pattern. This is actually something I want to touch on because someone asked a very good question in the comment section a little while ago. They said, Jebb, why are you using candle bodies and wicks? Aren't you supposed to use one or the other? I'll show you exactly what I mean here in just a second. This downtrending level of resistance that I use to constitute this symmetrical triangle pattern. Someone was asking me, Jebb, why would you use a wick here and a body here? Because in CT2A, you guys will remember that I teach you guys either use one or the other. Use the wicks or use the bodies. Try not to use both. Keywords try. Sometimes to make a trend line fit, you do have to breach that rule. And it's not a hard and fast rule. You guys need to understand you're trying to figure out what the chart looks like to everyone else. When you're doing technical analysis, you're trying to figure out what everyone else is seeing so that you can figure out the way that they're thinking, so you can figure out the way they're trading, so you can trade with them. If everyone else sees this as a symmetrical triangle pattern, which I've seen a ton of reports about it being that way, many people seem to be trading that way, the market seems to be leaning that way. If everyone is reporting it that way, then we should look at it the same way. And by the way, even if I moved it like this, we're still in a symmetrical triangle pattern and we're only breaching one of them. So the point is, we were in a symmetrical triangle pattern. We've now broken bullish out of it. If we are looking for where Cardano goes next, in the same way that I'm going to show you on Bitcoin later today, we have a method of doing that. The way that we would do that is by using something called a bull flag. This right here is called a bull pennant. A bull flag is a trading channel. A bull pennant is a triangle pattern. So we're looking not at a bull flag, we're looking at a bull pennant. But both of those, a pennant and a flag, obviously have to be on a flagpole. A pennant is just a name for a triangular flag. Fun fact: I believe Nepal is the only country in the world that does not have a rectangular flag. They have a triangle flag, and that is called a pennant. Anyway, we can use the flagpole right here. That's pretty funny. Look at that. We can use the flagpole right here as our price target on Cardano, and if we do that, we can say our price target on Cardano is sitting up around $2.65. I'm going to do a price prediction on Cardano probably tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I'll explain more of why I think we're going there, but I'll give you a brief synopsis. We are looking at a bullish MACD cross on Cardano's daily chart. We see that its RSI has a long way to run in the exact same way that it does on Bitcoin. We've also seen the volume is increasing. We see that we're rallying on the outside of the Bollinger Bands, which is a very bullish thing. You can see we are vastly outside the Bollinger Bands. The volatility is widening, it's getting stronger. We're seeing adoption going on Cardano. I believe that in the next 3 to 6 months, we will be trading at $2.50 bare minimum. Let's go back to full screen. That is my opinion on Cardano, and I would love to hear your take on it. Let's see what everybody's saying in chat.
I saw a couple people mentioned something about that tree costume, and I was like, sheesh, they've been here a while, man.
Gosh,
so shout out to you guys. We're probably not going to do a tree costume.
I thought it was in the mail.
They said they lost it. So.
Oh, they said they lost it.
Yeah, they said
I think you're lying. I don't think you ever ordered it in the first place.
Well, sheesh, you know.
Gosh, Smay is addicted to this sheesh meme. I don't even know what this is.
No, okay, listen, guys. Here's the deal. If you guys still want to see the tree costume, you gotta let me know. Put some ones in the chat if you actually want the tree costume. If not, you know, probably not gonna happen.
We did say we were gonna do it, so that means we're gonna have to do it at some point. This is true. So someone said one, just typing in chat because I know you're going to ask us soon. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't already, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the post notification bell. We have a great video coming out a little bit later on Bitcoin technical analysis and a Bitcoin price prediction. I'm going to show you exactly where Bitcoin is, where Bitcoin's going next, and how you can make the most out of that movement. We're going to open the floor here for discussion for another 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to wrap it out. Taylor, do you see anything in chat? I don't know if you're watching chat.
I'm seeing a lot of ones, though.
Yeah, a lot of
there
ones
are a lot of ones. There are indeed a lot of ones.
Oh, no.
Taylor, how's your experience coming on the show? How do you feel?
I really like this show. I'm down. If y'all want to have me back, you can put a 1, I guess.
There we go. No. Don't put a 1. Don't put a 1.
You gotta put something
put a
else.
7. Put a 7 if you want non-crypto Taylor to come back.
Okay.
Non-crypto Taylor is awesome, and we would love to have her on the show again. But go ahead.
You could see my progress in getting to know Bitcoin and cryptocurrency more. So
yes, exactly. Let's see. There's a bunch of 7s.
You guys can stop putting 1s now.
Bunch of 7s. Ooh,
7s.
Taylor.
Whoa.
Taylor, you're pretty popular.
Exciting.
You might have to come on again. That's awesome.
Ooh, okay.
Good deals, guys. Good deal, guys. Let's see.
So did you guys end up buying
try and speak
Coinbase
closer
IPO?
into the mic, by the way. Did we?
Yeah, did
That's a very good question. Thank you. I meant to bring that up on stream. I did not buy Coinbase IPO, and I want to go ahead and show you the chart, and I'll tell you exactly why. Let's go back to my chart, and I'll explain why I did not buy the Coinbase IPO. I apologize. This is actually my fault. I said I was going to. Some of you guys might have done it. That I should have clarified my position on this once I remembered something that's very important about launches. This IPO... And you can ask, I'm not just saying this for the sake of I told you so. I actually did say this a couple days before launch. I think I said this in front of you, Taylor, to Tim or Doss or someone. You can see Coinbase's IPO, its stock price is down 15% in the last 2 days. Here's the problem. Whenever things launch, they obviously have the issue of buy the news, sell the dip, right? Buy the news, sell the release. We saw the same thing happen on Bitcoin Cash when it launched. You saw that Bitcoin Cash rallied when it launched and then dumped really hard. If you don't realize how big this is a 70% dump in 4 days on Bitcoin Cash. Then we had a big old rally. We rallied in 3 days, 200%. And then for the next several months, we corrected. If you look at Cardano, for example, I'm pretty sure Cardano went through the same thing when it launched. Guess what happened? It launched and then boom, it crashed. A lot of times, whenever these markets, let's go back to full screen. I'll explain this. A lot of times, whenever markets launch for the first time, they go IPO or ICO or whatever, they will start higher than they're supposed to. What they'll do, and hear me here because this is something you need to remember for the future, the market will launch, then it will crash, and it'll find its absolute floor. What it'll do is it'll be 18, it'll hit rock bottom, it'll get broken up with, it'll get kicked out of his parents' house, and then it has to figure out what it's going to do with its life, right? So it's going to not do anything for 5 years probably, and, party and go to clubs for a while, and then it's eventually going to get its feet under it, and it's going to start rallying. It's going to start doing better. That's what coins do when they launch. They get born, they're doing all right, and then they jump off a cliff because, they start hanging around the wrong crowd in high school. The point is, the coin starts high, it's going to fall off a cliff, hit rock bottom, and then it'll start the rally. The same thing I expected to happen on Coinbase, and I should have told you guys that was my expectation a couple days before it happened because I remembered that, and that's why I didn't buy it. I'm still going to buy Coinbase stock, but I want more example of its price history before I do. Give me your take on that, and tell me in the chat, give me a 1 in chat if you guys are invested in Coinbase stock or if you're going to. I am going to do it. I am going to invest in it, but yeah.
I was thinking about it. It was just a little bit too much for my liking to jump in immediately.
I thought it was going to launch at like a tenth of the value it was. When I was saying that it was supposed to that I was going to buy it when it launched, I thought it was going to go live at like a $10 billion market cap. That's undervalued. I was going to buy that. When I realized it was going to go live at like a $90 billion market cap, I said, nah, fam, I don't need that. That's a little too expensive for me.
Yeah.
So I am going to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it right now.
Yeah. Also, just to clarify, because I saw somebody just chat about it. Okay. Real quick, and this is the last time we're going to talk about it. I didn't buy the tree costume, guys, because there's not a lot of tree costumes that exist out there, okay? There's not, especially one that fits me. So, if you guys tweet at us a tree costume that you think would fit a large person like me, then we'll probably order it, okay?
Someone said we need to start a Taylor Time show.
Ooh. Exciting.
Taylor's Taylor Time.
Someone also asked about your Top Gun glasses.
My Top Gun glasses.
Yeah.
They're sitting in my Camry outside. If you want me to go get them for the tomorrow stream, I can do that.
Possibly.
Why would I wear what's the occasion, though? By the way, I got so much hate for me wearing the sunglasses, like, oh, Jebb, you're turning into a douche. You look like you're trying to look cool. Who told you to wear those glasses? You need to fire them. Shut up. Be quiet. I was wearing them because I didn't have glasses. If you didn't notice, I have new glasses because my other glasses broke in half. I was wearing them because they're prescription. I can't see anything. I wasn't trying to look cool, okay?
We have them displayed out there on a bookshelf.
It's true. They're sitting out there on a bookshelf. I'll take a picture and put it on Twitter right after this is over. That's one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we wrap the stream out here?
Yeah. By the way, guys, so Coinbase stock, I'd say is like if you guys want to invest in it, I think it's actually still a pretty good investment because kind of like MicroStrategy, as Bitcoin goes up, so too will your Coinbase stock go up. So I think it's a pretty good.
Someone said on 0.75x speed, you sound drunk. That's pretty funny. I can see that. That's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh! Stop spamming! Holy crap!
Goodness gracious. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it out for today's stream. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that post notification bell. We're rapidly approaching 100,000 subscribers. Thank you, everyone who tunes in every single day. We're talking about the Pulvitos of the world and everyone else. Thank you guys so very much. The Beard will be back tomorrow. He is at a monthly planning meeting to help us run the company because, there's a lot that goes into this channel. We have 11 employees behind the scenes for a reason. He will be back tomorrow. We did have to fire him, though, for today because I didn't like the way his stream ran.
Got the wife on today.
Yeah, I got the wife on. Taylor's third title is the wife. That's pretty funny. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it out for today's live stream. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Also, we're becoming much more active over there. That is going to do it for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real
enough people were pretty hype about it. I think we might just go ahead and do it. Because there was also some people getting upset about it too. They're like, oh, so you blamed it on the mail? Obviously, it was a joke, guys. Come on.
Is the live still on?